What is this, a CAT 336 GRI3 antennas and the 500 sensors. And it looks like our bucket just lost a couple green clamps. It got damaged here. What did it do? Get stuck on this pin?
What's that?
What did it do? Get stuck on the pin?
I don't know. I have no idea what happened. All of a sudden,
doesn't really have that.
This morning it did it.
Interesting. Probably damaged the sensor a little bit. We're gonna have to re-weld the green clamp on there. Weld the green clamp on there because that bolt broke off inside. Okay, let's see if it damaged. Didn't damage the sensor, so that's good. Just the cable. Easy fix. Awesome. So we just need a 5-meter cable. Have to run a little bit new cable hose for it, and that's it. Alright, so all we need to do is run a new 5-meter cable with a new hydraulic protective hose, but we're gonna have to grind that off and weld a new clamp on there because that one's broken. This one, all that did was unthread, so we'll just thread that one right back on. And this sensor still looks good. So no permanent damage there except for a cable. Alright, so I got the old green clamp ground off and we're just going to weld on a new one. That one looks good. And again, that one looks good. So we'll just weld that on and add the new hose and a new cable. Needed a new green clamp. Yeah. So new cable, new hydraulic protective hose, and we just run this back into the sensor. If I can find the slot, there it goes. Run it up, put that green clamp on, run it over, make sure it doesn't catch on that pin, run it into the new green clamp, run it up into that green clamp, and coil up the rest, plug it in, test it, good. The secret with this is to keep this sensor loose, just loosen up those bolts. That way you get that green clamp behind there, it's not putting any pressure on that cable. Once you get that secured in, it's going to draw that hose in a little bit. Then you can secure these bolts for that sensor. One of the reasons why I see how this failed up here, this green clamp, how it came undone, it probably gave it enough slack to actually get behind that pin. Because it came undone, there's two different size bolts. It requires that long bolt right there. These regular green clamps going into that, because it's extended out, takes the short ones. This doesn't have that little extension, so it requires the longer ones, and they had the short ones in there, and it looks like that one had broke, but came out, so that's good. And then just go ahead and draw it right down evenly on both sides, nice and gently. Don't want to break anything. There we go. And then you can tighten that sensor back up because we're all done with that. And slide the new green clamp on. Bring the cable up. Shouldn't really touch there, but it needs enough room. It needs a little bit more room than that because this bucket isn't fully extended all the way up. Okay. Alright, so now it's fully extended. So now we can put it like that. And I actually like to put these green clamps down here because what I do is I provide a twist to this cable like this, and then I put it right there, and then as you see, it never touches when there's a twist in that cable. Somebody decided to put it up here, which is probably not the best spot because it could still slip over that catch and break. Alright, that's it. It's got a new cable, new protective hose. I don't see any lights on that sensor, so we'll go inside and we'll check, see if the system's on. Alright, if that sensor's any good, it should go green.
I think it will.
That's good. There's nothing red over the machine.
Yeah.
So bucket's good, everything's good.
Yeah, that bucket.
And we're initializing now. Bam, green. Alright, so system's green. We can throw the cover back on, button it up, and give it a flex test. Alright, we'll just give it a flex test here, make sure that cable doesn't get caught or get pulled. It's not how I would install it, but that's how somebody else did. Looks good.